Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm jumping in with my January faves. Yay! We are now in February already for 2018, and I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older and everything's just flying by, or because I'm really busy, or that just life is awesome, or all three. So I have a lot of really random goodies to share with you guys today. I have smelly stuff, like smelly in a good way. I have eats and kicks and books and decks and rainbow colored things and lots of stones, and there's just a lot, so let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is a gift that I got at Christmas time. I've still been loving it. There is it's my Hello Kitty like Polaroid. So the little picture comes out the top and it's just so cute and awesome, and I have this little clip on the front, and that's so that you can take pictures that are a little bit more close up. So like if you wanted to take a selfie, you could. So it's taken a lot of really awesome pictures so far. It's me and one of my friends, and my altar, little Walito. So yeah, it's been really, really cool. And then going into the food category, well, this isn't like an everyday food, but this is a sometimes food. It's my dark chocolate espresso cups. Oh, and you can only get this at the Costco Business Center. Like, you can't get it at the regular Costco. So we stocked up, and I can't eat both cups at once. Let me show you. It's just a little package like this, and it comes with two of these little cups inside. If I have two, I get an upset stomach, but if I have one, oh my gosh, I'm in heaven. Okay, going into a piece of jewelry that I've really liked all of January, and that was a belated Christmas gift from my dude, and he got me this little Snoopy necklace. You know, so he had it on order, so it took a little while to get here, and then I got the little chain for it. But yeah, so he knows how much I love Snoopy and Woodstock, so that has definitely been a fave. Okay, as far as scents go, I'm still loving Sammy Menzo's little clarity oil that she made for me. I was putting it on my third eye for a while, and then I started putting it on my solar plexus, and I really felt that was giving me clarity of purpose, you know, where that's kind of like my strong house, and you know, and I want to set forth and do things, but I believe it's like helping me get a little fire and a clearer vision of where I want to go. So thank you, Sammy. I'm still loving it. And another scent, this isn't one I created, you know, this is it's just a perfume, but it's Beyonce's Heat. And the reason I've been loving this, other than it just feels like power, is that this was a gift from my boyfriend's mom this past Christmas. Now you may be thinking, well, she's been gone, as in to the other world, for the past like two and a half years. But her husband found a little, as he was going through and donating some more of her clothes to the Goodwill, he found that she had stored away a couple more Christmas gifts for that year that, you know, she ended up passing away, but and she just must have forgotten they were there, so they never got wrapped and they never got brought out that Christmas. So, and he knew that they were for me, and so this is a belated Christmas gift from my dude's mom, and so I really appreciated that. And this was actually her favorite perfume. She didn't get to wear it all that much, so it's not like my boyfriend smelling his mother when I wear it. but yeah, and it just, yeah. So this is a really special perfume for me. So I have to show off a pair of kicks that I didn't get in December or January, but I got way back when, like some months ago, and I just really like them, and I just feel kind of kick-ass when I wear them. And it's these blue booties, and I love them so much. They're super comfortable. You could literally go jogging in them or go walk a bazillion miles. But I got these at Costco way back when, and they are, I think it's man-made leather, but I have a special spray that I cover all my my shoes with, or my work shoes, so that they don't get damaged or they don't get soiled or anything. So it's like a protective spray, so they all have a protective spray on them. But yeah, they're so fuzzy and they're warm and they're awesome and I love them. I've also been loving, well, like my own magical salve, which thank goodness is finally in my Etsy shop. It's taken some time and some encouragement and some prodding and nudging and pushing to get me to finally put it in my Etsy shop, but it's stocked and it looks like people are already enjoying it because I've already made a few sales on it, and I already have to make a new batch, so I'm going to be doing that today, and that takes all day. So yeah, these aren't like batches I could just whip up, but yes, this is my magical healing salve. And what I do is I take olive oil and I infuse it with a ton of different herbs like echinacea and comfrey. There's rosemary in there. There's nettle is in there. There's tons of stuff. Plus it's got shea butter, coconut oil, beeswax, jojoba oil. There's vitamin E oil in there as like a stabilizer. There's tons of good stuff. So it's really good for dry skin, chapped lips. One of my friends said that, you know, she'd been breastfeeding, so her, you know, her sensitive area had gotten a little chafed, and so she had used some of the healing salve that I gave her for Christmas, and she says it's totally, like, it's 100% better. So I'm like, okay, so it works for that too, works for diaper rash. I got some mosquito bites last night, and so I put it on my mosquito bites, took the itch off like right away. So yeah, I can add that in the description that, hey, in my Etsy shop, takes away itch from mosquito bites. So yeah, that's good. And it's good for like scars and bruises and things like that. So yes, my magical healing salve, which I add coconut essential oil in there, so it has more of a tropical smell to it. For incense, I have really been loving my desert sage incense. I burn this literally every day, and I'm glad that I have a lot of sticks of it. I actually picked this up at the local swap meet in Spring Valley, and I believe this was $2. So $2 for, this used to have a lot more sticks because like I said, I burn it every day, but it smells so good. And a lot of these things, not necessarily bought in December or January, but they're just things that I love and I continue to use. And since this is a faves, well, these are the things I've been using for January, regardless of when they were bought. So this was something that I got earlier in 2017, and oh, they're all my beautiful geometric stones. So it's the sacred geometry, and what I've been doing is I've been taking one of them out. So the one that I had out, I put it in for the video, was water. So I had water out for a while, and this was, well, it's a icosahedron, and I keep it next to, I have a little carved tiger eye in the shape of a kitten, which reminds me of Wally, and I put this on the tummy. And so the Wally holds my sacred geometry, and I put that by my bedside, and I like to kind of meditate and kind of like soak in that energy of whatever it is that I'm trying to do. And so I've really been digging these. So when I first got it, I didn't use it too much, but now that I figured out kind of how I want to use them, this has been really good. I finally got something that I should have gotten myself a long time ago because it's not that expensive, and that is gel pens. Look at all these gel pens, all the colors of the rainbow. And this is something that I wanted since I was a kid, and it was like, I've been an adult for a while, why didn't I just go out and buy some gel pens? So I went to Costco, and this, like, I think this was $20 for all these gel pens, and I really inspired now that I have them. So I've been doing drawings, I made a bullet journal, I've been doing all sorts of stuff. I've really been making things a little more fancy. So yeah, I am enjoying all my gel pens, and the brand is Gel Writer. So the month of January, this was the month that I finally started doing like a semi-bullet journal. I put it inside my actual like diary. So this is my diary here. So my bullet journal is in the middle of it, and that way I can add more pages if I want to. But I have my index, my yearly goals, my phrase of the year, which that's been coming in handy, some inspiration for my phrase of the year, and movies and books that I have read, along with a rating. And well, while I'm on this page, for movies to watch, I really liked John Wick 2 and Kingsman 2, The Golden Circle. The Kingsman movie was freaking awesome. Like, I loved it. I mean, I know that it's kind of cheesy, but I love it. It was entertaining, and that's all I want to be, is I want to be entertained. I want to like it. And oh gosh, I forget the lead actor's name, not the young guy, but the older guy that was in Bridget Jones' Diary. No matter how old he gets, I love his accent, and he is so handsome, and he seems so debonair. Okay, so I also have a mood tracker, and now I'm already on to February. I have my cards of the month for the year, and then I have my business goals. So yeah, and then I can continue on if I wish. So I've really been loving that for January, and I have been marking in it every single day, and it has forced me to actually do more journaling. So I've really loved that as well. Going into books, this first one isn't a book that you read all the way through. It's called the Witch's Spell a Day Almanac, and this is put out by Llewellyn. And I actually have been doing a spell a day. I haven't been a big spell casting type person, you know. I do consider myself like a green witch or green eclectic or green hedge witch, you know, with a background in Babaylan, which is Filipino. I mean, it's called like witch doctor, but they prefer to see it as like witch healers, not like what we think of where they're like pulling chicken guts out of people, and you know, a lot of it being like for show and not really anything real. But yeah, so even if there's a day that I skip, I make sure to make it up the next day. And it hasn't been stressful or anything like, oh, I gotta do a spell a day. But they're really like useful and not like a full on, I gotta do a whole like ceremony thing. Like, it could be just saying a little something over your mug of tea, which I do anyway. So a lot of these things were like things that I do anyway, and I didn't really think of them as like spells. So yeah, I've really been liking that. And for today, actually, Saturday, February 3rd. Today's spell is finding balance. With life so hectic and busy for so many of us, it can be hard to balance work, school, family, friends, romantic partners, and alone time. Take a moment to focus on what you need to recharge and realign your energies. Now take a pale blue pillar candle and carve it with a large set of scales, the symbol for Libra. As the moon goes into Libra today, I'm a Libra moon, and it's a good time for balancing energies. Next, carve symbols or words of those various balls you're trying to keep in the air. Anoint the candle with some lavender oil, which I have, for peace and harmony, and visualize all these different aspects of your life running smoothly. Focus clearly and strongly, and let the candle burn for several nights in a row until it is gone, taking any necessary safety precautions. Be blessed. And each one of these spells is created by a different person, so that was by Thuray Calafia. And there you go. Yeah. So that's been fun. I actually finished 2 books in January, which is more than I've been able to finish. I am like on a determined, I will read all my books. So the first one that I finished reading was Charles Spratley's Piercing the Veil. That's examining San Diego's haunted history, and so they go into all of San Diego's like most famous haunted sites, and this guy's a historian, so he really goes into like the background, newspapers, letters that were written to really find the true story of these haunted sites. And so he found, as you know, during his time as a docent, or he was also a tour guide for the ghosts in graveyards or ghosts in tombstones, whatever. We have a tour like that in Old Town, and a lot of the stories had been embellished or added on to from other stories to make them more interesting for tourists. And I found in this book that, you know, even he was saying, he says sometimes history is way more exciting than the stories that we make up to create a scary ghost story. So I really enjoyed this, and it made me kind of take a look at you know, stories and things we may be fed that may be a little stretched in the truth area. So that was fun to read. Next, I have the Grimoire of Santa Muerte, Volume 2, and this is one that I'm going to keep in my shelf as well as the other book, because it has so much that all like different like rituals depending on what you want or what you need from Santa Muerte, and I do work very closely with her. And like I've told people, I see her kind of like a big sister, kind of motherly, but more in my eyes, the way I feel her energy is she's young, she wants to help out. I don't see her, you know, in her skeletal form. You know, I do see her as just kind of another human being, but when she feels like she needs to protect me, I do see her go into her skeletal form, and it's not like scary for me, but scary for, I guess, whatever's looking at her. But I see her more coming into my life because there is a lot of like changeover and growth and shedding of old ways, and it's been kind of painful, but I'm glad that I have her by my side along with all my other guides, to kind of help me through this process. And I have been coming out wiser and stronger, and although I may not like it at times, I've really enjoyed it. So yes, I recommend this to anyone who is thinking of working with Santa Muerte or who does work with Santa Muerte. The stones that I worked very closely with in January, there was just a couple major ones, and so the first one I'm pulling in here is coral, and my guy got these from Hawaii for me when he would go out on his swims to the North Shore and things like that. So these are the main ones that I was working with in January. I also worked with a lot of smoky quartz. So this is the main smoky quartz that I used, was this little pointy one, and I liked it because of the jaggedness of it, because I felt like I needed some of that spiky energy. These are some of my other ones. I believe this one's Celestial. Yeah, this one's Celestial smoky quartz. I have used this lovely one where it's got little smokies piggybacking on it. My smoky heart. And just some polished smoky quartz and another little point. Other stones that I have been into in the month of January was anything that was green. I was attracted to every like green stone. Alanisite, there was Preseli bluestone, which you think was blue, but it's actually kind of a green stone. Aventurine, jade. Yeah, anything I came across, if it was green, I was like, green fluorite. I just really felt, yeah, coral, smoky quartz, and any green stone. That was the energy for the month of January for me. And the moment everybody's been waiting for is decks and runes. So I've been using my runes once again, and this houses my Ted Andrews Animal Speak runes, and I mix those with my Nordic runes, which I keep in here. And I got these a long time ago, but I've been very connected to my runes lately. I pull out the blank rune, Odin's rune. There you go. There we go. For some reason, I just now heard like one of the cheers from my old high school. That was like a long time ago. That was back in 1999. They'd go, "Victory, Varsity, Castle Park High." Anyway. Okay, so here are some of the decks. I've really been into the Natalie Rose Winter Solstice Lenormand. And these are the backs of the cards. And this has been a traveling deck for me, you know, because it's small and it's in a nice hard case, so it's not going to get jacked up in my bag. But yeah, I've taken this to work. I mean, when I say I bring my cards to work, it's not like I'm doing a full-on reading during class. Like, this is like during my prep period or during lunchtime, when the students aren't in the room, and I could just relax, unwind with my cards. I finally broke down and got the Spirit Within Tarot. I was unsure if I should get this, and this is by Stephen Bright, because I wasn't quite sold on it just being silhouettes of things, as I like lots of color and detail. But I saw it at Barnes & Noble. I got it, and I'm very happy that I did, because I love the the way information is presented to me here. So I would say it's, I don't know, kind of like one of your just really matter-of-fact friends, like who just kind of lays it out. I mean, they're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, and they're not trying to sugarcoat anything. They're just like, hey, this is how it is. So yes, definitely loving this deck. So in the month of January, I got the Angel Dreams Oracle, and I didn't even know this actually existed. I just ended up seeing it in my Amazon. Hey, if you like this, you might like this too. And I'm like, I think I do like this. And so that's the backs of the cards. Beautiful gilded edging. And the images on here kind of remind me of storybooks, you know, when I was growing up, kind of like the colors and everything. So I really like the feel of it. This is like a pretty no-nonsense, straightforward deck, by the way. I know that it seems kind of frou-frou and soft and delicate, but whenever I get the images, I'm like, whoa, simmer down now. But yeah, I've been loving it too. I also purchased from Barnes & Noble. There was a day that I got a few decks from Barnes & Noble and some books. But I don't go into Barnes & Nobles that much. And it's the Angel Reading Oracle cards, and that's by Debbie Malone. And that is the backs of the cards. And normally, I think I talked about this in a live chat, which if you haven't visited me on a live chat, you should definitely come. It's every Saturday, somewhere between 9 and 10:30 a.m. But I mentioned that normally this is not my style of deck because I don't like overly photoshopped things, and I don't like photographs that have been morphed with people. Like, I don't mind nature images that have been kind of photoshopped and kind of turned into a deck, but something about people being photoshopped and morphed I don't like. But I do like this deck. There's just something about it that's like, oh, okay, I like these peoples. I like these folks. The other deck that I've been loving is a deck that I got a long time ago, but I busted it out one day and I'm like, okay, we need to work together again, and that's the Starlight Tarot. I hadn't used it much, you know, probably in 2017 or a while, and then all of a sudden I busted it out in January. It was like, oh, we need to work together, and I think, and still, so it's still by my bedside. So everything that I work with, I keep by my bedside. But yeah, Starchild was like, we got some work to do. And this used to be kind of a difficult deck for me to read with, but now that I've rebusted it out, we've been pretty tight. We go everywhere together, like we go to the movies together, like we go out to eat together, like we go talk smack together. I also purchased the Alana Fairchild Love Your Inner Goddess deck in January. Again, this was one where Amazon was like, you might like this one, and I was like, because, you know, I'd see people have reviews of them, and people kept going on and on how it was so awesome, and I was like, you know, not really my type of imagery. But then once I got it, oh my gosh. So some of the images lay sideways, some of them lay vertical. But this deck makes me feel all the feels. Like if you want to do some deep work, I'm talking shadow work, like we need to bring some stuff to the surface, but at the same time helping you heal. So it's not like, hey, we're going to bring this crap to the surface and then leave you there to just marinate in it. Anytime, like whatever's going on, I pull a card, like it's exactly what's going on. It's exactly what I need to hear, and it's exactly what I need at the time. And this is a deck where I can use it intuitively, but I really do prefer to use the guidebook, and I'm not really a guidebook type person. I mean, I'll give a flip through, you know, for the guidebook, but I am not really that type of person because I'm so intuitive. But I just feel like the messages there in the guidebook is like Alana Fairchild is really talking to me, or my guides are really talking to me and being like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Because sometimes when you're overcome by your ego and emotions. It's really hard for your clairvoyance to, or your intuition to come through, or your clairaudience, or your clairs of any kind, for you to hear and feel and know messages. And that gets blocked, especially when I'm really going through some murky stuff. So the guidebook's been really wonderful, and I've really been enjoying this deck, and it's gonna stay by my bedside for quite some time. I finally broke down and got the Animal Wise Tarot, and I love anything Ted Andrews puts out. So my mission this year is to also pick up some more of his books, like I think it's Nature Speak, his Nature Speak book. He has a lot of books, but there are a few books that I've put on my Amazon wish list that I wish to purchase. Here's the backs of the cards. And I have his Nature Speak Oracle, and now that I have this one, and I think those two go really well together, and I don't mind that there's gigantic borders. Something about the images just kind of sucks me into that little oval there. And like I said in my live chat this morning, that, you know, something about it feels really familiar, like I've been there, or that I am there. I don't know what it is about his images. This doesn't read like a, let's say, traditional Rider-Waite deck. Has kind of its own little system going on. So it's kind of like Oracle-ish, Oracle Tarot-ish. And I really like it. And I like the fact that there's an extra card that comes with it. And I like any deck that has extra cards. Like, I think the Druid Plant Oracle has extra cards, though, like Will Worthington illustrated deck. And I added my own picture. So I added my own picture to this one. So I added the healer, and that's Luby. Luby is a Instagram sensation, social media sensation, golden retriever that's known as the hugging golden retriever. So he hugs people all around New York City. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this deck. I love that I got to add my own card, put my own little flavor to it. But this deck is also, you know, because I connect really deeply with animals and nature, and yeah, I've needed a little bit of extra love this past month, and so that's been really helpful. And then lastly, oh my gosh, we're already quite far into this video. I finally got the Green Man Tree Oracle. So this is the book, and these are the cards, and I got it for a really good price. It was like $30, low $30, 30 something dollars. And I got it off of actually one of my like tarot swap trade buy groups that I'm in on Facebook. And normally this deck goes for quite a bit because it's out of print. And I'm a Will Worthington fan, like, of his artwork, so I'm glad that I got this deck as well. And so it like had popped up, and the girl's like, I'm selling it for like 30 or whatever, or 30 something dollars. And I'm like, do you take PayPal? And so yeah, so it's mine. I mean, like, look how straight they are. Like, those cards are perfect. It's like it's never been used. The box is a little worn, but I don't care. I don't read with the box. So, so yeah, and this one, I like diving into it because I'm not too familiar with like the Oghams or the Oghams. So that's like a new area that I'm really trying to dive into, and I already like am into trees and plants and nature, and so I've liked taking what I'm getting from my intuition and then going into the guidebook and doing a little bit of research, plus a little bit of online research to go a little bit deeper about, you know, this plant and this Ogham. And yeah, I really love it. And oh, by the way, here's the backs. So that's it, you guys. Yes, those were my January faves, and I hope that you guys enjoyed them too. Remember that whenever I make any of these types of videos, I'm never trying to tell people that having lots of stuff is going to make you happy, or that you should go out and go get stuff. But I just like showing off like things that I like using, and hopefully it inspires people to maybe look through things that they already have and see like, hey, maybe I haven't used this in a while, and see how maybe they can reintroduce that to their lives. Or if you find something cool, I'd be more than happy to see it. Doesn't usually mean that I want to go out and buy it too, but I always like seeing people happily using the things they already have, or how they use new things and things like that. So that's it for me, spiritual homies. If you guys want to catch a reading with me, head over to my Etsy shop, Kittens Waits Tarot. The link is also below in the information box down below. And I have, obviously, my healing salves are in there now. I have lots of pretty bracelets. I have my sprays and readings galore, like any type of reading, it's there, trust me. I'm also on Patreon now, so if you would like to help support this channel and all the things that I do for you guys, then head on over to patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot, and I have put the link for that down below as well. And that's it for me. So I will catch you guys later with next month's faves. And I plan on making some like skit type videos, so stay tuned for those. So I want to start doing like skits with tarot cards. Of course, not being disrespectful, but just having like fun with the tarot. So I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.